Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're going to tackle a huge topic for any startup, building a sales roadmap. We're going to move way beyond just making sales and get into a strategic framework that can literally determine if your company thrives or if it just burns through a ton of cash. We're going to turn this really complex challenge into a clear, actionable plan.
Let's just dive right in with a pretty tough question, but it's one every single founder has to ask. Because look, getting new customers feels great, right? But if you're not doing it profitably, you're not building a sustainable business. You're basically just digging a really, really expensive hole for yourself.
Okay, so how do you actually know if you're on the right track? Well, it all comes down to this ultimate balancing act. It's an equation with two super important metrics that, when you put them together, they tell the entire story of your company's financial health. So, on one side of the scale, you've got lifetime value, or LTV. That's the total profit you expect to make from a single customer over their entire relationship with you. And on the other side, you've got the cost of customer acquisition, or COCA, and that is literally every single penny you spend to get that new customer in the door. We're talking salaries, marketing, you name it. And this is where things get tricky. Because here's the deal. Most entrepreneurs are way, way too optimistic about their CACA. They only see the tip of the iceberg. They completely forget to factor in all the hidden costs lurking right below the surface. You know, the long sales cycles, the salaries of your team, and all those marketing dollars you spent on people who never ended up buying. It adds up fast. So, what's the magic number we're all shooting for? It's right here. 3-to-1. This is the golden ratio. For your business to actually be sustainable, your customer's lifetime value needs to be at least 3 times what you spent to get them. I mean it. If your LTV is only double your COCA, or even worse, if it's 1-to-1, you are deep in a danger zone. Okay, so how do you hit that golden ratio? Look, it's not some magic bullet or one secret sales trick. It's all about building a sales process that grows up and matures right alongside your company. It has to evolve over time. All right, let's break this down and see how it actually works in the real world. We're starting at the very beginning with phase 1. This is the short term, the direct hustle, where you are literally creating demand out of nothing. So this first part, it's often called the missionary phase. And that's a perfect name for it. Because your job here isn't just to sell something, you're basically an evangelist. You have to go out and make the market aware that a solution like yours even exists. And that means direct, face-to-face interaction is everything. Not just to explain what you do, but to get that crucial feedback so you can make your product better fast. So how do you know when you're ready to move on from this phase? Trust me, you'll feel it. The big shift happens when you start getting those calls, those emails, from people you've never even talked to. That's it. That's your sign that word of mouth is kicking in, and it's time to evolve your strategy. And that signal pushes us right into phase 2, the medium term. Now the market knows you exist, and they're starting to look for you. So your entire focus has to shift from that hard, grinding work of creating demand to the new challenge of efficiently fulfilling it. Look, as the startup, you just can't be everywhere at once. It's impossible. So to grow your reach without hiring a huge, expensive sales team, you bring in partners. These could be distributors or what we call VARs, value-added resellers. They're perfect for getting into markets you can't reach on your own or for handling smaller customers where it just doesn't make sense for your direct team to spend their time. But of course, there's a catch, right? There's always a trade-off. So the huge upside is that using partners like VARs can seriously lower your customer acquisition cost and let you scale up really quickly. But the catch is, you've got to give them a piece of the pie. We're talking anywhere from 15 to, even 45% of your profit margin. It's a big strategic choice. You're trading some of your margin to get that scale. And what's really cool is you can see how your whole business starts to transform. In this middle phase, a healthy mix of sales might look something like this, a 50-50 split. About half your money is coming from your own direct sales team, who can now focus on your biggest, most important customers, while the other half is coming from that growing network of distributors. Okay, and that brings us to the final stage, phase 3. This is the long-term vision. Your business is mature now, your product is a known quantity, so your sales process has to become a well-oiled, super efficient, automated machine. So, in this mature phase, your sales team's job totally changes. Now, they're focused almost entirely on just fulfilling orders, not chasing every single lead. You're really leaning into those super scalable, low-cost channels, like your website, email marketing, letting them do all the heavy lifting. The whole game becomes about optimization and, of course, fending off all the new competitors who are definitely going to show up.
And this is what that final evolution looks like. It's pretty amazing. The sales mix has completely shifted. Your direct sales team, they're now maybe just 25% of the business, laser focused on your absolute top, most strategic accounts. Your distributors are handling a solid 40%. And look at this, a huge 35% of your sales are coming in through cheap, automated web channels. Now that is an efficient, scalable sales engine.
Okay, so that three-phase model is the what. It's the big picture. Now, let's talk about the how. How do you actually put this to work in your own business? Well, it all starts with one absolutely critical exercise. You have to meticulously map out your customer's journey, every single step from being a total stranger to a happy paying customer. So why are we doing this? Why map out this whole journey? Because the whole point is to find ways to strategically and systematically drive down your cost of customer acquisition. When you understand every step, you can see where all the friction is. You can pinpoint exactly where you're losing time and money, and then you can start making the whole process shorter, cheaper, and way more effective. And you can get started with 4 really simple but super powerful questions. First up, awareness. How does a customer even figure out they have a problem you can solve? Second, discovery. How do they find out that your company is a potential solution? Third, education. How do they actually research you and your competitors to make a smart choice? And finally, purchase. How do you seal the deal and make it easy for them to give you their money? And that really brings us to the most important point of all. This quote says it perfectly. Your sales process isn't just about making sales. It is the engine that directly powers both your cost of customer acquisition and your lifetime value. It is the thing that determines whether your business is actually profitable and whether it's going to survive in the long run. And look, this powerful framework, it's not just some theory. It's a core part of the disciplined entrepreneurship methodology, a proven roadmap that was developed by Bill Ollett over at MIT's famous Martin Trust Center for Entrepreneurship. So we'll leave you with this one last thought. Take a really hard look at your own company. Are you just kind of out there selling, just hoping for the best? Or are you being intentional? Are you actually designing a sales process that's built from day one to be healthy, sustainable, and, actually profitable?